now, our feature presentation.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Focus Testing. My name is Tristan Miller, and I am dying. And with me, as always, is...
Broing on, my little bronies. It's your boy, T in the house, in the house. That's me. I'm T in the house now.
Now, is T in the house
Yeah.
your first name, and T in the house your last name? You're T in the house, T in the house?
No, I'm T in the house, Leibowitz.
A Jew, I see. I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
I took a NyQuil last night. I'm not feeling great. I
What
should have
time
said a
did you take
Jewish
said NyQuil?
person. I'm sorry, a Jewish person. I see. I'm not gonna get into it.
Tristan, the people want to know what time at night you took the NyQuil. I'm
Oh,
getting all kinds of texts.
1 a.m.
1 a.m.?
At
Yeah,
1
you might
a.m.
be still feeling some...
Yeah, dog. Residuals. Getting those residual checks from the. Oh, gotta fly. Oh,
He doesn't have a fly.
yeah, it's down.
We are joined today by the sweet, sweet bell sounds of Phoebe the bird. You're welcome, society.
So here at Focus Testing, we make up a movie based off of a random prompt, as you have no doubt guessed from our witty banter about NyQuil and birds. What
We
would
banter
happen?
wittily.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Totally
get.
forgot. Totally forgot to do the intro about what we were doing and what this podcast was.
Who gives a shit?
That's true.
That's why I made this podcast, Tucker. I wanted to goof around and not care. I wanted to not care.
I'm doing a lot of that second one.
I just don't, because like this is a lot for the 3 people that listen regularly to the program. But I do 2 other podcasts. You know about that. One's about mental health and the arts, and it's an interview podcast, so it's not very fun. It's not like dour or anything, but it's like an interview podcast. I'm not goofing around. The other one where I goof around is we keep it family friendly, so I don't get to see a motherfucker, which is my favorite word. So I wanted something to goof around.
Get your goof on. Yeah, get your goof on.
Gosh.
It was pretty good.
All right, give me a second. Yeah. How was that? Should I go into voiceover? There's a gnat in the studio and I want to die. Get out of here, gnat. It's Nate.
Should you go into voiceover just
because I
based
can
on
do an
your
impression?
Goofy impression?
Yeah.
I think they have a Goofy.
No. What you need to understand is it's friggin' sweet, and all that voice acting is doing impressions of voices that already exist.
You're gonna make me so mad. I know you're doing
Yeah.
a bit, but
Don't talk about it. Talk about. I want you to
bit.
spill the tea on the Facebook group we're both in. Don't name the name because they know us and they'll come after us. It's the FBI. We're the FBI.
We're in this FBI Facebook group page. It's called Secret FBI.
Oh, FBI, Facebook integration. Is that Illuminati confirmed? So anyway, talk about the Facebook group. Entertain the people.
Oh man, there's just some dumb people out there, ladies and gentlemen, who think that you should do a bunch of work for free, so that they can sell something.
Yeah.
They will make money and profit off of you doing free labor.
Not just that, this Facebook group, and God bless these. Like, I understand. I was the exact same way. If there had been a Facebook group for me doing impressions as like a 16-year-old, have you seen this kid going around on Twitter doing these decent Star Wars impressions?
Nope.
Okay, he blew up on Twitter, and all he's doing is like Star Wars impressions, and it's just like, that's cool.
Great.
But also, like, it's not voice, you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
right.
But so I understand the impetus. I truly do. Of like, I understand the impetus of like, if I was 16 and I could get attention online doing just, trying to do my best Adam Driver, like, that's fine. What I'm saying is you should start a podcast, kids.
Start a podcast. Don't.
Yeah, just get all that energy out. Snap.
I got people asking like, "Hey, what's a good app for editing audio on my phone? Trying to make money doing this." Don't. Stay away. Stay away from this career path.
The app is called Cyanide, and you drink it. No one should kill themselves over voice acting.
Right. Glad that this is where we're starting the podcast.
Except for Jesse Eisenberg and Rio. But anyway, what's the what's the random prop? Here we go. I'm mean today. I'm sorry. The NyQuil makes me mean. This is why I stopped drinking.
I'm feeling emotional today. I'm sure we won't run into a problem.
You feeling emotional? What are you?
Yeah, just really
baby.
Raw. Oh, it's probably like the most PC thing you could have
said. Also, like, me making fun of someone for being emotional is like a metaphor. It's like pot calling a kettle black. I guess that we got to get a new one. So I have the list up here. And we got favorite foods. What's a movie based off of our favorite food? What's your favorite food?
My favorite food has been for a very long time, specifically 3 carne enchilada tacos with onions and cilantro from the Tacos Azteca taco truck outside my apartment. I've eaten that at least like once a week, probably. Not recently since the lockdown hit. What? Dating the podcast? But like coming home from
Tucker,
work.
We're only on episode 9. It's underage. You can't date the podcast. Who are you, Chris D'Elia? Ooh, topical. So what?
Man, that was a fun roller coaster.
That's for one of us.
Is the one of us Chris D'Elia?
Delia. Oh, Delia. The truck is. You moved recently. Is it what?
No. It's the truck. I moved like a year ago.
Yeah, but was the truck there before? Because you said it's always been your favorite. Like, how long have you been going to this
It's been
taco?
for a while, for like a year.
Oh, okay.
But before that, it was carne enchilada tacos at the Mexican deli by my other
Taco Bell.
Nope, it's called Mexican Deli. It was open 24/7. It was incredible.
You love to see folks. I remember New York. I remember New York when you could do that. I love New York because of that stuff. So that's your favorite food. What?
Right.
The fuck movie you gonna make with that shit?
Yeah. This is one man's search for the perfect taco.
When you say taco, do you mean like the actual food, or do you mean like the euphemism for tacos?
Do you want to say the word vagina? Is that what you're trying to say?
I just said you said it.
Well, you said euphemism, and then you said tacos as if taco was a euphemism for itself. And I think, Tristan, that you want to talk about vaginas.
I don't know what that is.
So
I've never had
Ron
sex.
Jeremy's search.
No sexual assailant Ron Jeremy. Searches for the perfect taco, which isn't a vagina, but an actual taco. You got me to say it.
Taco.
Oh,
Yeah, nice.
You tricked me by bringing up Ronald Jeremy.
Really, my movie was just a full hour and a half movie that's just punking Tristan into saying vagina, and Ashton Kutcher comes out at the end and goes,
and shoots me in
the head.
You got punked. Okay, so it's a man's search for a perfect taco.
Yeah.
Does he find it?
All those other things. We'll talk about that later if this gets picked up.
Okay. My favorite food is lasagna.
Okay, Garfield.
Yeah, the temptation is to make a Garfield movie, but it's already been done. And I believe we've already made a Garfield movie on this podcast.
Right, probably. I didn't want to make a Garfield movie. I just want to point out your Garfield.
I hate Mondays. I love lasagna, and I'm
Yeah.
fat as shit.
That's not true. It's just,
I'm also a kitty cat. Meow. Meow meow.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, so lasagna. It's a layered meat. So it's a group of scientists. They are geologists. They dig into the earth. They discover the earth is secretly. I was gonna say vagina. Secretly lasagna.
It's gonna come up throughout the entire podcast.
Yeah. Okay. So, but yeah, they discover that the earth's secretly lasagna. And then they have to deal with those ramifications. The next prompt is something called the Wumbus. We've already done this, but you want to have a crack at it again?
We do. I do want to talk about something
Okay,
called
let's
the
talk about the
Wumbus again.
Wumbus.
Great. So in the year 2045, the word vagina has been banned.
Fuck you, man. It's been banned.
So now it's just something called the Wumbus.
Hey, man. You got that good Wumbus?
But also, who are you talking to?
Hey, baby, let me see your
Why'd you
Wumbus.
say, hey, man? Who are you?
Let me take a look at that Wumbus.
It's very uncomfortable.
Okay, is that
but
it?
it's not
Is that the
clearly
whole
defined.
bit?
It's sort of like in America, fanny is the butt, but in Europe, fanny is the Wumbus. So it
Okay,
gets
so
really
Wumbus
confusing.
Wonderland,
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens? Like, so you've given me like an idea, but there's no.
Yeah, I've given you an idea.
Okay,
I
so
don't
if
think
we choose
I don't
that
think we're
one.
picking this one up. I just did it for the bit to see what your face would be. You
Okay, so
dumb
my
shit.
something called the Wumbus is a sequel to Where the Wild Things Are, and it's the Wild Wumbus, as you all know. So the boy goes back. It's like Hook, right? It's a Hook style film where the boy Max goes back to the island, but he's an adult.
In the same PJs.
In the same, he eventually has to wear the same PJs.
Yeah.
It's a shot for shot remake of Hook. Like it's the exact same plot as Hook, only with Where the Wild Things Are. That's it. That's my movie. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. Martial Weapons.
Martial weapons. Cool.
Sequel to Lethal Weapons, only this time no one dies.
That's a terrible movie.
Okay, that's not I misread it as Marital Weapons when I first looked
Sure,
at
go
it.
for that.
Yeah, so it's about it's a like Mrs. and Mr. Smith style movie of like a couple having to, so it's a sequel to The Purge. It's a sequel to The Purge where
There are a lot of those.
yeah, it's one of the many sequels to The Purge that are still in development. God bless. Excuse me. And it's about a man and a woman who are trying to get like they can't settle on a divorce settlement, at all. And so during The Purge, they try to fucking kill each other because they're so mad. And then one of the dresses up as a woman to try and be closer to their kids, and it's Mrs. Doubtfire. No, no, but they honestly it's like a shootout, and then of course what happens is you get that Matrix style, like both of the guns to the head, and then the purge ends, and they're like, oh no, we now does this count as a prenup? Fucking
Boom.
Nat. Your turn.
There's no Nat. It's just the NyQuil. Yeah. So this movie is about a man named Marshall Weapons. And he is yeah, make that face. Oh man, I wish you guys could see this face that Tristan's making. He's so sad.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Keep going.
So Marshall Weapons is this old Hollywood
You would love to see
stunt
it.
actor. And he's famous. He's like an action star. He does all of his own stunts. But the secret is he doesn't actually do all of his own stunts. And he's a terrible fighter. And he has to keep trying to somehow get his twin brother, Gunther Weapons, to like sneak in and pretend to be him. And it's a journey of discovery, really, is what it is. Because he's a much better actor than Gunther is, but Gunther's the fighter. But he's made this whole career out of. We're like doing a Prestige thing.
Okay.
Spoilers to Prestige.
A movie. Did you know that I've heard of so many video essays about the Prestige and how it's not what it seems and how it's like more convoluted even than Nolan made it. It's oh boy. Anyway, the next prompt is based off of a myth. So mine is this guy tries to so mine's an art installation.
Your movie is an art installation?
Yeah, it's an art film, I should say. It is not meant for the public's consumption. There's no narrative in this film. Where you sit down and it's just 20th Century Fox's, that prum pum, and then it fades to black for 2 minutes.
Oh my God.
And then it comes back up again. And it's a retelling of Sisyphus.
Sisyphus, who is that the one who stole the fire and has its liver eaten out by the...
No. That's Prometheus.
Who's
Sisyphus pushes up the boulder and has it come down again. Alternatively, you have a man making a movie and he continually loses funding, and it's the story of Terry Gilliam, but it also like it's that process over. He's in pre-production hell. Right. Those are my two movies based off of Sisyphus.
Okay. So, Prometheus.
The only myth you know.
The only myth I know. Fine. Changing subjects. Let's talk about Eros and Psyche, you dumb bitch. Making this up off even the topper of my head.
I believe you mean the tip.
Yeah, the tip of my mind grapes. So, there is this just so handsome, just the most handsome male model. We got Fabio, right? And Fabio can't find love.
Sorry, stop. Do you remember when you got hit in the face with a duck? That's all. Craig Ferguson is the definitive bit about it. Go watch it on YouTube. It's great. Okay. But oh my God, it's so funny. Yeah. You got hit in the face with a duck on a roller coaster. Please continue.
Pre-duck in-face Fabio is having trouble.
He didn't get disfigured. He's just getting
But he lost some confidence, okay?
All right.
Pre-duck face Fabio is having trouble finding love because everyone just wants him for his sweet, sweet hair and body.
And duck remains.
And his pre-duck!
Which is what I call my nether regions. Hey,
you call your nether regions duck remains?
You want to see my duck remains and you can show me your wumbus? Come on, girl. This is me on Tinder.
They would be confused more than offended, as they should be, I think.
Let me get in that wumbus room.
For them. Wumbus room?
Yeah, like rumpus room. You don't remember a rumpus room from the 60s where you go and you dance?
Do I remember it from the
Yeah.
time that I was alive during the 60s? Dating myself now.
Oh, call that.
So Fabio tries to go on some blind dates, but he just wears like a ugly ass potato sack over his head, and all the women who go on the dates with him are like, "This is weird. Don't do this. I
Yeah.
hate this." But one of them is super into it.
She shows up also in a potato sack.
Yes.
And they're like, I
They-
just love Scarecrow from Batman.
Yeah.
So it's love at first, not sight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's love at first, awkward, trying to shake hands.
This feels like an episode of Star Trek or something. All right. So how's that a myth? I'm sorry. I don't know the myth you're referencing.
The myth of Eros and Psyche is that Eros is the god of love. He could never find love himself. Because the mortals would just take one look at him and be in love, but not for him, not for his personality. So he ends up meeting this woman named Psyche, who he loves.
Love that show. Movie
and
was
she
weird.
says, movie was weird.
I haven't seen either, but keep going.
He's the worst. So they start going together.
Mushing
he
their
like
duck
he like
remains
traps her like
and
Beauty and the
Wumpuses together.
He like traps her like Beauty and the Beast style, and he says, "You can never look on me." And she's like terrified by what this god is or whatever. So one night while he is sleeping, she sneaks into his room with candles and looks upon his beautiful self, and she goes,
And he's
"Oh
like,
my
damn,
God, he's
he
not
ugly."
a monster. He's beautiful." And then she drips wax onto his chest, and he wakes up, and he's like, "Oh no, you could never see me. That was the deal." And they break up. But
Damn.
Psyche really does love. I mean, it's a long freaking myth. Psyche really does
Yeah, I'm
love him.
getting that.
She wants to get back together. Aphrodite's like, "No, you got to do a bunch of crazy ass trials." She like goes through the river Styx, like just to get with this hot piece of
Okay, so
Wumbus.
how does that translate to
Wumbus
your
is
Fabio?
also code for dick.
Yeah, it's
Look,
2020.
You want me to?
Yeah, I think that's the one we should go with.
You want to go with this one? Okay.
Or
Great.
Okay, the two options are, okay, number one, this one. Number two, the one where Wumpus means vagina, and that's the whole bit. So your choice.
I think we should
combine the two.
Steer clear of the Wumbus.
Beware of Wumbus. That's like cutting a agave plant. Agave? No. Aloe vera plant. Saw a video of that. You've seen it? It's like pulling apart a grilled cheese. I'm gonna keep doing this with my hands.
I'm really mad at you.
No, like the aloe vera plant has the same thing. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Oh baby.
Sorry about the audio gang.
We don't care on this podcast.
Your boy had to open his door because he was getting the top sweats
in his Wumbus duck meat region. Have you heard the term duck butter?
No, I have not.
Gee, it's disgusting.
Is this gonna be something where like I gotta warn my parents before listening to this podcast again?
No. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say just look it up.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna get into it.
Don't look it up.
Look it up.
Mom, don't look it up.
Look it up.
Don't look it up. We're not doing one of your stand-up bits, Tristan.
Go to www. Okay, so they're in love. We've gotten to that. We've gotten to the first date. They're in love, right? What are the trials? Right. Oh, because it needs to be about how Fabio's famous, right? And he's like, no one takes me seriously because of my fame. I think that might be a stronger.
Yeah.
So he's trying to be anonymous. And so when she finds out he's famous, what happens?
When she finds out he's famous, she makes the mistake of like Instagram stalking him,
I
like
was
just
gonna
liking all of his posts from like 2 years ago.
Ugh, classic.
And he's
We
like,
all been
no,
there.
too much, I can't. And they break up, and he ghosts the shit out of her like an asshole.
Okay.
Um,
And then what? How does it translate to trials? So does he
right.
have like
So
an
Fabio's
entourage?
agent.
Okay, there we go. Agent, great.
She tries to get in contact with him, and the only public way to do that is through the agent. The agent's like, "No, you hurt my man, my Fabio man."
Can we switch it from Fabio to something relevant?
Yes, absolutely. That was just the only male model whose name I could even
You could have
conjure.
gone with like Chris
We
Evans.
could go with The Rock.
You could go with The Rock. You could go with Henry Cavill. Oh, Jason Momoa. There we go.
Jason Momoa. Fine. But can Jason Momoa's agent be played by
Fabio.
I was gonna say Lil Rel.
Who?
Lil Rel Howard. You seen Get Out?
Yeah.
The Best Friend?
Yeah, he's great. Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I want to see him in more things.
Yeah.
He's so funny. And actually he's got some acting depth. I've seen him do some more serious stuff too.
So she's trying to get him into the agent. He's like, "Well, no, I need to vet you."
Yeah.
So she goes and gets her fixed. No, so I have to vet you. The vetting process is what are the three? We have to have 3 trials, right?
Right.
So a trial of the mind, a trial of strength, and a trial of morality.
Ooh.
So the
Strength's got to go first, and then mind,
Yeah.
and then spirit. Right.
Yeah. So strength is she has to join Equinox.
To get with Jason Momoa, you gotta be on his fitness level.
You have to be, which is not true. Well, actually, it might be. I don't know if. What is his wife's name?
That man has stamina.
Yes, he does. What is her name? She's so hot.
Who?
His wife. She was on the Cosby Show.
I don't know. You gonna look it up? We're gonna take a break. Want to look it up?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's gonna bother me.
Welcome to Tucker's Quiet Corner. Your word of the day is stop motion animation. I want you, listeners, to write me a 10-page essay, double-spaced, MLA format, citing your
Lisa
sources.
Bonet.
This has been Tucker's Quiet Corner.
Lisa Bonet ate no bagel. A nice palindrome for you there.
That's not.
It's
not.
But anyway, Lisa Bonet she might be fit. I don't know. She's powerful energy. Have you ever seen them on the red carpet together? Deep sexual energy. It is. Oh boy.
It's just Wumbus and Duckmeat.
My favorite children's cartoon. Sequel to Chowder. They're really going off the rails like Cartoon Network. All right. So anyway, she has to join Equinox and she has to get like absolutely ripped, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have an idea of where this should go. The ending. So then what's the trial of brain? What's the brain trial?
She has to form the perfect sort of to slide back into his DMs. She has to craft the perfect sentence.
Okay, so she like has
perfect
to like
prose.
She has to like get the best like, hey baby, what's good?
Yeah.
Can it just be that? Can it just be like her work?
Yeah,
like,
it will end up
just
being,
like,
hey baby, what's good? Eggplant peach.
Yeah. WID. Just WID. And then
You up?
Yeah, you up. Then the motherfucking
Like it's a whole montage. She's got like
yeah.
a team of scientists.
She has one of those glass. So we do a shot
She's
like
running
Goodwill
on the
Hunting or the Social Network. She's got equations. She's got.
Mhm.
And then they're just like
we keep cutting back to multiple cups of coffee just lining up next to
yeah,
each other.
Yeah. Oh, that's amusing. Then this trial of spirit.
She has to convince herself that Aquaman was a good movie.
Damn, Holmes.
Burn.
Yeah.
It's not that. It doesn't have to be that.
It's that now. She has to convince. No. She has to convince the agent. So it's diegetically Jason Momoa. It's not like Jason Momoa playing a character. I don't like the moral repercussions because he's married. But she has to convince his agent to not to have him take this indie project versus like a blockbuster. Go with artistic integrity rather than money.
Yeah.
So the way this ends, I think she's gotten jacked. She's slick. She didn't know anything about the film industry when they met. She like works at like she didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And then now she is ripped. She knows how to flirt better.
Damn.
And who is this woman played by? Lisa Bonet. So it's a real life couple thing.
Yeah,
That's great.
A real life couple thing.
And then now she knows everything about Hollywood. She goes to him. And she's like, I did it for you. And he's like, everything about you is unattractive now. Because I loved you for the fact that you didn't know
who you were. Yeah.
Who the fuck I was or anything about Hollywood or anything. So it's kind of like a gift of the Magi thing too.
Yes.
So where does it go from there?
Where does it go from there?
So
I want to bring a guest artist onto the podcast real quick. Courtney Murray, what one word would you use to describe Jason Momoa?
Dreamy.
Dreamy. And there you have it, folks. Hot take. Jason Momoa is dreamy. And that means that he is a dreamer.
But he's not the only one.
But he's not the only one.
Was he in that video?
Just off key enough. Was he in what video?
Do you not remember the celebrity video of them singing Imagine at the beginning of quarantine?
You said, do you not remember it like I and everyone else have watched it?
Yeah.
Some of us were busy watching Tiger King, Tristan, okay?
Okay. So the ending, that's got to be like the third act twist, and then it has to have a quick resolution. You know what I mean?
Right. Do you want to jump in time like 2 years later?
I mean, you've suggested it, and yes, and I think that's a great idea. Wow,
that sounded forced.
She's married. 2 years later, she's married.
To someone else?
To somebody else.
But she's
famous.
His agent.
Oh.
You had an idea about how you wanted this to go, I
didn't.
I don't know what you want.
You
said at the beginning that you had an idea.
That was the twist of like them.
Ending was the twist.
Well, yeah, the ending was like
twist.
The beginning.
Who are you, M. Night Shyamalan?
Yes.
Is that the twist? Tristan's M. Night Shyamalan?
Scooby-Doo style rip off a mask, and I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for this meddling podcast.
So meddling.
Anyway, no, I think she's a famous agent, and he's disgraced, right? He didn't do anything wrong. He just
he did that blockbuster movie.
Yes, he didn't listen to her. That's so good. And then he comes hat in hand and is like, "I'm so sorry. You were so right. Will you be my agent?" So she's not married. She goes, will you be my agent? And she's like, only if you go through these 3 trials.
Yeah, he has to go through the trials. Boom, sequel.
Oh, I
or we
thought
can
the 3
wrap up
trials were
his-
just going to be like the vows at their wedding.
Oh, no, that's a great idea.
Yeah, thanks.
First date, move in, vows.
Yeah, first date, boinking,
And that can go through a montage.
and then getting
quick.
married.
Oh, I lost him.
Oh,
Tristan.
you're frozen.
Tristan.
I can hear you.
Tristan.
There we go. We can't go one episode without that happening.
Well,
Whose internet?
today it could be mine. I am on the other internet, and I should be in my.
I
room
clapped so
internet.
you know where it happened. So if you want to edit it out, you can. I don't. When I put up the video,
No, I
I
don't
said,
care.
"Fuck them kids."
Today's sponsor,
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Do you not know
Fuck
that
them
meme?
No,
do boop boop. Yeah, there's the
you
Michael
and I have
Jordan.
very different YouTubes. I bet. It's like
Yeah.
what's recommended to us.
Well, it's not a YouTube thing. It's just a meme. I'm just gonna send it to you real quick. I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna Google Michael Jordan.
You're gonna send me a meme in the middle of our super produced podcast that's high quality and much respected.
Origin of fuck them kids. A meme.
Welcome back to Tucker's Quiet Corner. I hope you all did your 10-page essays on stop motion animation. They're due right now.
Michael Jordan made a bet of if he missed 3 shots, then his whole basketball camp would get free Jordans, and it looks like he just sunk the shots, and he said, "Fuck them kids." Yeah, he sunk the shot first try. So Michael Jordan said, "Fuck them kids. They don't get Air Jordans." I have a pair of Jordans, but they're not Air Jordans. And so Christina says I can't call them Jordans, which is fine. They're very comfortable.
But you really want to? Like you want
Yeah, I mean, like I'm gonna go put on my new kicks, my Jordans, and she's like, you can't. And I'm like, that's fine. They're comfortable.
comfortable.
Shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much more comfortable.
What happens if someone scuffs them? Do you say you scuff my Jordans, or do you just wither away?
I say fuck those kids, and I kick their ass.
What are you doing around children that are scuffing your shoes?
I live in Queens, dog.
That's not an answer.
There's this great Polish cafe nearby, and it's clearly like there's something going on because it's just a bunch of, I think, or it's just like a beautiful hangout because it's all these old Polish men sitting on the sidewalk just smoking cigarettes, talking to each other all day, not doing shit, and it's so fun. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
You love New York. You love
love
to
it.
see the culture. This has been podcast. Podcast is over unless Tucker has more to say.
Thank you for coming to Testing the Focus,
Which
where
is
we
truly,
test how focused you are.
yes, I would say is not good today with Tristan, who took NyQuil. NyQuil is not good for mind. It's good for body, but not mind.
Tina Rouse would argue that Tristan on NyQuil is very good.
Okay, his thing of like one time, so Tristan one time, speaking in third person here again. So Tristan one time, changing the accent there.
Okay, Bartok?
Yeah. But I accidentally took NyQuil one time instead of DayQuil when I was feeling unwell. I still had the obligation to run comedy festival. I went to venue on Subway, and so I realized I feel funny, and I was like, "What? I feel familiar." I was like, "Oh, I feel like I am drunk." Why was I pursuing this for so many years? This is awful. Fuck this.
Yeah.
I love coming to America. So many options. All disappoint.
All disappointed. So,
And-
lesson from today's podcast: stay in school, don't do drugs,
Mary
fuck them
Lisa
kids.
and scene.
Scene.
A perfect episode.
Perfect.